Have I ever revealed how I covered both broken shells and bananas back to back because I just knew we were going to get new information for them in the Curse of Moon Key update, which also meant the potential for double dipping? Well, I just did. And with a quote-unquote revisit to bananas behind us, that leaves us with broken shells, of course. They might not be the most intriguing of topics, but still, they've spread their wings a little bit since the last time we've smashed some shells, so let's get to it. And we'll be starting off with the totally fresh content first. The thing is, though, we will have to have found the Moon Key Island itself to do so, and that is not the easiest thing to do in the world. But my two pieces of advice here would be to explore the edges of the map and around Pearl first for your best bets, as relying on pirate raids to tell you where it might be is not ideal. But here is something we can rely on to be present once we do make land. Crosstale Shines, everyone. The island is their natural habitat, and as you can see, they are quite flimsy. So we might as well get to bonking them with some boomerangs, am I right? Doing so will result in a broken shell 50% of the time, making Crosstale Shines one of only 2 mobs in the history of Don't Starve to ever drop these things. It's noteworthy stuff, especially when they can be quite common and useful in other ways too, through the unnatural portal here. Now this thing is going to shoot out additional light bugs 3.8% of the time. However, that can be highly adjusted to higher odds in the settings if you wish. Plus, you can even just tell the portal to stop all other spawns entirely to really help you out in this regard. Whatever the case may be, the point is that Crosstale Shines now drop broken shells, so either kill them outright, trap them and then kill them, or bait them with food, trap them, and then yup, you guessed it, kill them. Have fun. But come on, Beard. Broken shells? What could they have possibly gained recently that warrants an update to them mere months after the first one? Well, bumpers, of course. Additions we never knew we wanted until we had them. Now, we've got a couple options at what is essentially boat armor at the end of the day, but our focus is on shell bumpers here, and their 40 durability per at the cost of 3 broken shells and 1 rope. Create a few, or exactly 8 if you want full coverage mind, and begin to place them all around your round edges of your nautical circles today to save you and them from a trip to Davy Jones's locker, if you know what I mean. It's simple, folks. Bumpers absorb the damage our boats would normally from a potential collision, however they are not indestructible. The faster the hit, the worse the hit, so on and so forth. All that said, though, we can easily attempt to save broken bumpers with broken shells at 20 durability repaired per broken shell. So there you go. Broken shells actually have more than one use nowadays. Which is exactly why we need to expand upon how to get a ton of them, yes, even more than we did last time. Pearl was and is still the ultimate find when it comes to these things, so you best locate a message in a bottle as soon as possible. Do so, introduce yourself, and now shell bells will forever be on the table for the foreseeable future. And yeah, sure, while the Crab King drops 9 to 6 of these suckers, it's gonna be the bundles of thanks / shell bell bundles and or shell clusters here that really provide us with what we're looking for. And heck, with an infinite bundle of thanks farm in play, with the use of these shell clusters, mind, we've essentially got an infinite broken shells exploit too, so make notes. But believe it or not, Pearl is also the one and only source of yet another source of shell bells and thus broken shells, sunken chests. After initially meeting the Krabby Crab and reading another message in a bottle or two, you might generate one of these puppies that will not only break open into a whole mess of loot, some of which is really good actually, but will also drop 3 to 5 broken shells depending on what tools you actually use to open them. Not bad, but of course, the original tried and true method of acquiring broken shells is still very much intact today. Found primarily in the outskirts of the ruins among the muddy turf, slurtles and snurtles were once the only way to obtain broken shells. Now slurtles here have a 90% chance to drop one, due to them dropping their helmets a mere 10% of the time, while the much rarer snurtles offer us a 25% chance at broken shells, for similar yet different reasons. Now their mounds drop 1 guaranteed, although they're not very renewable even in the slightest, so I wouldn't bother. All in all, the OGs here are now arguably the worst sources of broken shells in this game, so do with that as you please. As we need to end the day with what else we can actually make with these things, like shell turf here. Initially purchased as a blueprint from Pearl, just like them shell bell bundles we mentioned, the stuff costs 1 broken shell and 1 rock per 4 turf, and if you're curious as to how it actually looks, just open your dang eyeballs for Pete's sake. But to continue on this decorative theme we've got going, potted ferns are next, with their 10 different styles at the cost of 1 shell and 2 foliage. Stuff that might just see its own update and guide someday. And finally, the only other broken shell craft in this game that matters, the seed packets. Costing 2 broken shells, 4 grass, and 2 normal seeds. It's a portable seed fridge essentially, but it's actually way, way better. As while they do preserve seeds exactly the same, and do so like crazy as you can see, it's actually the seed packet that boasts 14 slots total. 14 slots that also prioritize birch nuts, marble beans, twiggy tree cones, and pine cones themselves. Oh, and yes, all seed types will automatically enter the packet over your inventory if you have it on, which is nice. Good stuff all around, I say. And there you have it, everyone. A planned, yet very much still unplanned revisit to broken shells to help update them following an update, and one that went quite well if I do say so myself. All new sources, crafts, and uses, all the while detailing more about how to actually amass tons of the stuff. Yup. Mission accomplished, I feel. But let me know your thoughts on all this revisited and updated topics down below, and leave some suggestions for others you'd like to see moving forward. But thanks for watching, folks. Well, wish you to all, smash some shells, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.